Alright, I'm gonna start with compliments. I thought about, I was gonna, let me start with compliments. Okay. So, I think, aside from the fact the game's obviously gorgeous, they definitely did a much better job at, the companions, right? Let me turn the audio down here. Let's, okay. So, companions in this game. Wow. Great. Like, more interesting. But, unfortunate, not as interactable as, you know, the previous games. I wish there was just, like, a little bit more. Having to wait all the way to the end of the game to pretty much get the, I don't know, surmount of your relationship was interesting. But, it, you know, regardless, it was nice. It just, like, felt like, I don't know, yeah, last game I was just not interested at all. I'm sure you could have done all of the same stuff or whatever last game. I didn't romance anybody or anything last game. I just played it. Yeah, Inquisition definitely sucked compared to this, right? So that's, I mean, there's that, right? Like, Inquisition sucks compared to this game. So we can start there. Yeah, this is not no game of the year, you know. But let's just compare it to itself, right? So yeah, it sucks. Or I'm sorry, it does not. Inquisition sucks compared to this. This is way better than Dragon Age Inquisition. Dragon Age Veilguard is way better than Dragon Age Inquisition. It's obviously graphically better, just, you know, a smidgen, I guess, or whatever. But taking the mount out and making the maps the way that they are more linear, I guess would be the proper word. That was great. I absolutely love the map and level design. The way the quests are. I'm so happy they took that board thing, you know, the war board thing that was in. We're getting there. So way better than that stupid war board thing that they had you do in Inquisition. Please never do that again. You know, they made looting better. They made the items, picking up things, just equipping items. I did not care dealing at all with everyone's gear because it actually, like, wasn't that much. Now, was I playing on the easiest difficulty? Yeah, but, like, still, you could play the other Dragon Age games on the easiest difficulty, and it was still way too overcomplicated. You couldn't just, like, play through the freaking game. It would still be very hard. So, yeah, I feel like you could definitely play this up to, like, maybe even past the normal difficulty and really just, like, willy-nilly, you know, just kind of hacking your way through it, because if you just, like, I imagine you did a lot of, like, side quests and stuff, because I skipped a whole bunch of side quests and everything. Not main companion quests. I tried to do as many of those as I did. I might have skipped, like, a few, but I tried not skipping, like, any at all. It was really nice being able to interact with all my companions, and they were really cool and awesome, and, you know, that's what these games are kind of about. You kind of, like, look forward to that if you are a Dragon Age fan. Now, somebody who plays this game may not understand that, how important the companions are in the game. I don't know how to make... I don't know how more so to... I think, like, the game does a good job at trying to make them as important as possible so that the player understands that they can't just be, like, going through the game and ignoring all the people, that it would do them well to, do as much extra shit as possible. So, yeah, that's really good. So yeah, really happy no mount and inventory, and what other compliments do I have here? The combat, right? Combat's really fun and cool. Again, I was playing on the easiest difficulty possible, so it's not like anything was hard. Now, in the beginning, when I first started fighting enemies that were, like, 20 levels above me, it was, like, very clearly that if I was playing on a harder difficulty, there was things that I fought that I would have not been able to fight. But yeah, nasty enjoyable is the way that I can describe the combat. And that's a treat, because the reason I won't play Baldur's Gate is because of the combat. So, do I expect this game to do as phenomenal as Baldur's Gate does in some aspects? No. But guess what the game did to make up for it? It did phenomenal combat. At least, like, not the best combat in the freaking world. There's other games that have way better combat, but it's, like, it's really enjoyable combat. So, the exploration, too, like, being able to jump on things, being able to run and jump off of things, being able to, like, teeter on stuff. The companions in your party, they don't have a hitbox. You can, like, literally phase through them and stuff. Chef's kiss. So much better than the last games. So those are all of the things that I can definitely say are phenomenal compared to the last games, and good things that you could even compare to other games against, right? Where does the game fall flat? So the beginning, after the beginning, like, cutscene and everything, because, huge spoiler here, right? Because you don't understand that, like, Varric died, and, like, how serious, I guess, it was at first, it just felt a little underwhelming. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, like, I don't know, it felt really, like, stupid the way you're just... They needed to do a little, like... I feel like because they were just like, okay, let's just get the player into the game. But because you really don't understand what, even as somebody who's played the Dragon Age, I just recently played through Dragon Age 2 and Inquisition, and then you start this game and it's just like, huh? Like, what? Like, what's going on? So, like, yeah, I wish that I had a bit of time in the very beginning. They should have done something with let you play a little bit of wherever you came from. Like, when you choose your story, they just should have done it exactly like Origins. I don't care if it would have been 15 fucking minutes of, like, waking up and walking around a room and then having, like, 3 options of dialogue and a cutscene. And then the game started. Like, just the smallest fucking thing, because I don't know, I just... the way it starts is probably, I feel like, gonna be such a huge thing, is gonna turn so many people off, because, yeah, I don't know if that was the move, but hey, whatever. I just was not a huge fan of the beginning of the game at all. It took me 10 hours to, like, really start caring. Once I started being able to, like, suck up the game and understand this very intense story. Like, there's things that even characters in the game say, like, Davrin saying, you know, I'd much rather go back to just talking about the Blight. Like, this was just so much. It's, like, a lot. Like, we're fighting gods and it's like, I'm just a little dwarf, you know. The fact that there is a woman who is the essence of a god, who turns into a bird, who has magical powers to hold up giant rocks, and then one of the mages in my party, who's come off like a normal person the whole time, is then able to sit down on a Blight throne and control Blight, and then comes out unscathed, basically. And then this dude, I mean, it was really awesome and fucking cool to see Solus turning into a wolf and fighting that giant archdemon. That's the most that's one of the coolest things I've ever seen in a video game, like, sequence. That right there, like, the game was definitely a solid 6, and then you do that final fucking sequence there. Holy shit, that potentially brings it up to a 7 or 8, because that last final sequence was fucking great. But how many people are gonna get to that? There's a lot of chum in front of that, and I just, like, don't think a lot of people are gonna get to it. And it's no sense really showing people that who don't give a fuck about the game. Like, what is that final ending, phenomenal, cool-ass battle matter to them if they cannot get through a lot of the cheesiness, cringiness, weird, fluffy, awkward shit and not very digestible beginning of the game. But whatever, right? It was cool. Yeah, it's like they could have, at the expense of making the game a little bit longer, could have made the story more digestible. I think that's the biggest issue, is that for somebody, if you've never played a Dragon Age game, I don't know how the fuck you understand you don't fucking understand any of this. Like, there's just, you gotta play 25 hours of this game. If you've never played another Dragon Age game, you're probably 20 plus hours in and you probably just still don't understand half of Thedas. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so much. So, like, yeah, I'm gonna say this. Why couldn't we just get Dragon Age Origins 2? Like, why could we just not get another story like that? Like, why did we have to go kill elven gods? Like, why did you choose your last DLC of Inquisition to be your entire story for this game? It was really cool, but why? But why? Yeah, it's so detached from the others. It does make a whole new cool game concept of its own, and like, I feel like this could be the beginning concept for a fucking MMO. You know? Like, it's so much. Like, is the next Dragon Age game Dragon Age Online? Because I mean, that's where these kind of stories belong. You know, I feel, why have we pulled so far from video games making nice stories about the main character and just like a bunch of shit they do in their life? And like, why are we saving the world constantly, man? I don't understand the whole, like, we're always having to save the fucking world. But I'm, like, over it. I'm really over it. It's, like, a lot. There's other things in fantasy that you can do that isn't just saving the fucking world. And I just don't know why story writers don't seem to, like... There's so many, like, new animes seem to be doing this. A lot of movies and TV shows. If the world isn't ending, you are, like, the main character is the one saving it. And I'm just like, okay, yes, that is a very interesting story. But it's a lot to digest for, like, if you want to reach a wider audience, I would imagine. And I just... Stopping... Also, like, it's one thing, like, stopping corruption and blight, and then, but then just, like, yeah, adding, like, the gods on top of it and everything like that. And then they're sprinkling bits of, like, there's titans, and then at the very end of the game, there's just, like, whatever not else happening. I don't fucking know. What other big bad guy can you conjure now? Because we just killed the gods. We killed elven gods. So, like, why would you shoot yourself in the foot so badly, making this insane story that is, like, biblical? You know? Right? Yeah. Like, what? So now we're gonna... because the titans and the blight is not cured, so we gotta go back to that now. We just gotta... whatever. You know what? Do you know what's the thing I'm most grateful for Veilguard? Now that I've finished Veilguard. Thank you, Veilguard, for coming out in 2024 so that I, a longtime Dragon Age Origins fan who was upset about the first direction of Dragon Age 2, it wasn't Dragon Age Origins 2, and it had something slightly to do with Dragon Age Origins, but it's a completely different game, and it introduced the wonderful Varric Tethras. Thank you, Dragon Age Veilguard, for letting me be introduced to Varric Tethras and play Dragon Age 2 in 2024. Because if I would have lived the rest of my life not playing Dragon Age 2, you know, I'd been quite upset. Because it was a really great game. No fucking thank you for having me play Inquisition. That was very upsetting. I want a lot of those hours. I want, like, I wish I only spent, like, 10 hours playing that game. I want a lot of my hours of my life back for Inquisition. I'm not thankful for that whatsoever. The hours that I've spent, almost 50, right? I spent playing this game. I'm very happy I didn't spend not one more hour. Oh, no girlies with their boobs out. That's a crime. That's... You, like, how do you have Dragon Age Origins, Morgan got her titties out and everything, you know, Dragon Age 2, Isabella got her titties out, there's a whorehouse and everything. Like, you cannot have these, like, super sexual, and then it's like, in this game, okay, it's fine, I'm very, very happy that you have the non-binary and all the gender-friendly things, the main character can be transgender, non-binary, and whatever not. That's all awesome and wonderful. So why'd you take out the, like, sex in general? Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, everyone can choose their genders and have different pronouns and everything like that, but nobody can have sex now? What the fuck? Wait, you gotta wait till the end of the game? You get, like, one little very meh scene with the person of your choice? Like, I don't know, you'd, like, just... super sexified, important. Like, I'm sorry, like Baldur's Gate did it with theirs, you know. I'm just making comparisons. Like, you set the expectations so high and then you bring them so low. I just don't understand. So like, it's really, really cool the things that they added, but why do they just have to, like, reduce some things? I don't understand when comparing to the other games. So moving forward, you know, all sex friendly things, please. You know, can we just... It's comical when you can, like, really get into it with your characters and everything like that and whatnot. And, yeah, it didn't feel as immersive as the first two Dragon Age games. So, that's that. Lost a bunch of things, but do you know what we got? We actually got dragons. Wow. I want girls with their boobs out again. You can have the dragons back. As a girl. Please. I need, like, that's my representation. You know, that's what I mean. Like, as a hot girl, I need hot girl representation in the game. What? Like, where was that? Where was that? It wasn't in this game. So they decided to represent literally everyone and their fucking mother else besides hot girls. Solid 7. It's like, it was really decent. Decent. That's the word. That Dragon Age the Veilguard is decent. That's it. That's how I feel about it.